qualified, and we are regulated by the Royal Society of Public Health.
This Ramadan, visit Al Akbar's for all your meat and poultry needs. We buy only the highest quality meat and are HMC registered. We've got some amazing offers on all our products this Ramadan, and we provide free local delivery for all our customers. We also cater for restaurants and large events, so no matter how big or small your order is, Al Akbar's is the name to remember.
Welcome to the show, and this is Healthy Ramadan Show, broadcasting live to you on Facebook Live and on RamadanFM2018.com. I'm pleased to tell you that today we have a special guest with us, and we're going to be discussing issues to do with nutrition. Not just simply nutrition, but nutrition in terms of the Islamic perspective, what's expected of us during the month of Ramadan. So this is going to be a really good show, and I wanted to remind you of the studio number, which is 0333 011 6786. That's 0333 011 6786. Now today, to cover this topic, I've had to look at who's the best person to bring forward and bring to the studio to discuss nutrition in terms of what our faith says about the right and wrong things around our body, because our body is a trust from Allah, it's an amana for us, and we have to treat our body in that respect, and therefore we have to be mindful of what we eat throughout the whole of the year, but at this particular time it's even more important in terms of what we should be eating. So I'd like to introduce you to a sister by the name of Karima bint Dawood. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to the studios, Karima.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
It's really good to have you. I know it was a real big
challenge
for me to get you to the studio, but alhamdulillah, I managed to achieve it. I'm ever so happy that you've managed to come and spend an hour with us and impart some of your wealth of knowledge. Some of you that may have come across Karima will know very well that she does an awful lot in the community around
health and well-being,
various stuff around health and well-being. So can I just allow you to give us some insight into that, and then we'll get into the meat of the subject.
Yeah. Before we go any further, I just want to kind of ad-lib, may Allah forgive me. There's an ayah in the Quran where Allah tells us to eat what is lawful and good and to be mindful of shaitan. Right? Allah tells us to eat what is halal and tayyib. And all of us eat halal. Most of us, I should say, eat halal. But Allah mentions halal and tayyib very often as a pair in the Quran, and they're called a thematic pair, a theme. It's a theme that's running through the Quran, halal and tayyib. And we started like really promoting this about 5 years ago or so, but we just need a bit of a reminder on this. But I'll tell you a bit about myself. I'm a convert to Islam. My dad's South African, he's mixed Asian and African and Scottish, and my mum's English. I'm an Essex girl. I think it kind of accounted for part of my driving why I got here on time today. Allahu Alam. And I'm an award-winning cookbook writer. I have to remember that this is being filmed as well. This is my book.
You got the plug in there really quickly.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah, well, you
very
told
good.
me. You told me.
I would have got
Come
onto
on,
that.
I'm an Essex girl. And so after I wrote the book, I had a program on Islam Channel, and I thought, what shall I do? Shall I train to be a chef, or shall I train to be a nutritionist? And I could see at the time, subhanAllah, I thank Allah every day for my eyes for seeing, my ears for hearing, my heart for feeling. And I could see, I could see what was going on, that there was this trend of obesity. And I said, you know what? We don't need another chef. We don't need another chef. We need a nutrition hero. That's what we need. So I trained to be a clinical nutritionist, but I have a massive passion for Islamic medicine. So I would say that this is my particular speciality. I study prophetic medicine, and within that, there is a very wealth of information that applies to health and well-being, and we're only just touching on it in the Western world right now. So that's where I'm coming from.
Just on that point, you mentioned the words health and well-being. I wanted to do this last week, but I didn't get round to it. And plus, we didn't have what I'm about to show you available to hand. So, okay, this is Minhajul Quran's award It's an award recognised by the NHS as a Communities of Health accredited organisation and institution. This was presented to them in autumn of 2009 for outstanding services in improving health and well-being to local people. And this was given to them by the NHS in this local borough. So it's a Communities of Health Award awarded to Minhajul Quran International London. So I just wanted you to realise that there's a long-lasting legacy with this institution when it comes to health and well-being. And because of this show, we've enabled to demonstrate that we can come along and talk about various aspects of health and well-being. And also, some of you may know that Minhaj Healthcare is actually on site. It's a bespoke NHS standard healthcare centre, and it's supported by NHS professionals from within the organisation. So alhamdulillah to the Idara for achieving this. It's a really good accolade. This award goes a long way to show that we've done an awful lot of work around health and well-being. So jazakallah khair to the mosque officials and the volunteers and people who support the Idara. Right, let's go on to what we're going to talk about, Karima. Right, we said the body is an amanat and a trust from Allah. So is there any Islamic ruling that we are supposed to look at in terms of looking after our body? Does it matter what we eat? After all, food is food.
We've got a lot more work to do regarding what is going on here. It's a good foundation, mashallah, but we have got a lot more work to do. There's a lot more work to do. Food is not just food at the end of the day. Within the Quran, Allah has mentioned a number of foods which scientists are now proving are superfoods. As I said, Allah commands us to eat what is lawful and good. Yeah. So halal means lawful, and tayyib actually means whole food. So it means, there's all these trendy whole food restaurants now. It basically means cook everything from scratch. Don't buy processed food. Don't buy kind of stuff, do stuff yourself from scratch. But it doesn't even just mean that. It means not white rice, but brown rice. Not white pasta, but brown pasta. Why? Because these things contain the fiber, which is good for going to the toilet, which is an issue right now during Ramadan. And also this fiber goes in the arteries, and little tiny pieces of plaque are removed from the arteries by this fiber. So it's good for people with artery sclerosis, cholesterol problems. That's whole food, whole wheat, whole rice. The other thing is these whole grains also contain minerals like magnesium, and magnesium is not stored in the body, but magnesium is essential for mental health. So while we continue to feed our children un-Islamic food like white rice and white flour, it causes things like attention deficit disorder, these learning difficulties, etc. And it's actually dumbing us down in terms of how we perceive reality, because these minerals in the food are very good. There's a hadith, and it's narrated by Abdullah ibn al-Kitab radiallahu anha. And from a very small boy, he was a very, very close companion to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So much so that they used to go to the toilet together. And the tradition was someone would take a small child with them to carry maybe a bucket of water or a bucket of stones. So from a very young age, he was a very close companion to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And one day, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said to him, he said that you've been fasting all day and you've been in the mosque all night. And Abdullah said, yeah, mashallah. And the Prophet said, no. He said, your eyes have got rights over you, your wife has got rights over you, and your body has got rights over you. All right, do you hear that, brothers? Your eyes have got rights over you, your body has got rights over you, and your wife has rights over you. So this is the one hadith that shows us that the body has got rights over us. And for this reason, we have to take care of our body, because in the long run, it's to our own good that we look after our bodies.
That's good. That's really very clear, and a clear message there for us to all take note of. Now, the whole notion of haram and halal gets very heightened in this month, because we're so much aware of within our conscience that the back of the months where we've been just carrying on regardless, and we've just been doing all sorts of things, we're not being paying due regard to what is halal and haram. And we're not just talking about food here, we're talking about the whole shebang. So one of the things that we've come across is halal and tayyib. What does it mean to be not only halal, but also look at things that are tayyib for us?
Tayyib, as I said before, is things like whole grains. If we can afford it, to get meat that comes from an organic source, or if it's not from an organic source, at least let it have the proper halal slaughter, which is without stunning. So I think HMC do that, and there's quite a few places you can ask. Some butchers, they do have meat that is not stunned. They just don't advertise it because they've got non-Muslim and Muslim customers, and some of the non-Muslim customers, they don't like it. Tayyib really means pure, wholesome. In Arabic, it means pure, wholesome, whole food, something that's very natural in its natural state. So yeah, that's what tayyib means.
Okay. We wanted to also look at some people start Ramadan with a great enthusiasm but start flagging halfway. Why do you think that is? Because it's almost like it's a marathon, but it's not a sprint. I mean, some people race into Ramadan, don't put enough thought into preparation. And I look at myself and I look at my family first and foremost. I mean, we're all guilty of this. We do not put enough time in preparing for the whole month of Ramadan. It's a big investment in our time. It's a big investment in how we approach it and what we do to sustain ourselves. Because let's face it, Ramadan is a long month this month.
Yeah, definitely.
The days are increasing this month, not decreasing. That's can be an uphill struggle. So what do you say to that?
First and foremost, I would say to everybody, well done, Jazakallah khairan for last year, because we did it last year, mashallah, and the days were consistently long last year. So really, it's getting easier. Although for the first few weeks, it is going to get harder because the nights are getting longer, and then it will get short again. But we did do last year really, really long. So well done, everybody, and give yourself a pat on the back to know that we can do it, because we did do it last year. Okay, that's the first thing that I would say to people. The other thing I would say is diet is very, very important. I know some very pious people. We're like 1 week down now, and I'm sorry to be like this. I feel like the Muslim Gillian McKeith talking about poos, but people are constipated. They haven't been to the toilet for 3 days. Now, what happens is, if the process of elimination is not going regularly as clockwork, you'll start to get headaches. You'll start to get congestion. You'll start to get gases in your body because your body is not detoxing properly, and these toxins will have to come out in other ways. People are starting to get colds now. People are getting coughs now. I've been around people who've had coughs, colds, etc. SubhanAllah, I've not had it. Why? Because I'm keeping focus on things like breaking my fast with dates and water mixed together. So there's a drink, it's on my blog, karimascuisine.com, called Date Nabiz. It's a tradition, it's a sunnah, it's within Asian culture as well. You call it Date Nabiz, and it's dates that are washed. You open them up, you take the stone out, make sure there's no insects inside, and soak it from the morning and in water. And in the night, you put the water and the dates in the blender and blend it into a drink. And it's absolutely gorgeous. It tastes like a caramel toffee drink, but cold. But this drink is alkaline, so it will combat the inflammation of samosas, which are basically grains and meat. It will combat any of the animal products that we're eating and the grains and the rice. It's alkaline, so it will deflate any inflammation, but it will also help us go to the toilet, right? So we have to keep this fiber. So I would say things like okra, what do you call it? Bhaji, bindi. You know, just fry it in olive oil with a bit of onions, a little bit of spices, even stick it cold in the fridge and have it with every meal, or lots of salad with every meal. Dates that are soaked, not too many dates that are not unsoaked, because these will dehydrate your body and also put on loads and loads of calories. The thing about dates, the very small ones, the ajwain, are like maybe 40 calories. The big majul ones are like 70, 80 calories, and people wonder why they've put on weight at the end of Ramadan. They've eaten 5 dates, big majul dates, and water. done their prayers and then eating big curry. It's like having a dessert before your dinner. It's just too many calories. So just a few in water, even one in water. Blend it up as a thing. Alkaline drink. You've got to keep that fiber going. You've got to keep that elimination and going to the toilet.
Let's come back to some of the scientific stuff around the nutrition. But I wanted to also go back on looking at a Ramadan food plan. What you've said here is, we touched upon this about preparing. There's a saying that he who fails to plan, plans to fail. You say this, Karima, I see it on your Facebook post. How does this relate to food and Ramadan?
Well, obviously, I think what I've been saying for the last few years while it's been hot is this, and I keep saying this mantra along the way. I say smoothies, soup, salad, the 3 S's. And if you just focus on that, the people who are responsible for cooking, or if you're living on your own, whether you're a brother or not, a smoothie, a soup, and then a salad. So that even just that consciousness of those 3 things is part of your planning. What am I going to have for smoothie? Oh, I think I have date nabis. And then after that, you might think I'm going to have a soup after that. It doesn't have to be complicated. And then after that, I'm going to have maybe some curry, rice, and salad. The salad, as we said, is fiber. It's alkaline. If you just keep it very simple, but have a plan, so you don't think, oh, I'm going to break fast and I've got to have all this fried stuff and I've got to keep all the traditions going. So your plan is, even if you had fruit, soup, and then some kind of big food with salad, or you could even have boiled eggs and salad. Think about it a few days before, write it down, but write it down if you feel that you need to, some sort of like menu plans, not complicated menus. Keep it very, very simple. As I said, if you just have dates and water, if you've got a hot temperament personality like I have, then I mix raw cucumber with the soaked dates, have that in water. You could be having that every single day throughout Ramadan as your plan. And you know what? It's going to do you amazing, fantastic things to your body. You don't have to think, oh, I'm going to have strawberry and melon smoothie tonight. I'm going to have this. Oh, what am I going to have tomorrow? Oh, It doesn't have to be so complicated. There don't have to be so many choices. It can be very simple. Keep the plan simple and healthy.
Okay. I saw you wrote an article for the American website Muslim Matters called A Protein-Powered Ramadan. The focus on protein is very important for most national health advisors. What does they say around this?
Well, the National Health don't really say very much about this. I think, I'm sorry to say, but they don't. The National Health nutritionists are not actually as progressive as those of us who don't work for the National Health. The National Health suggests things like grains, etc. And grains are fine when Ramadan starts at 7 o'clock in the morning and finishes at 4. You can get through with bananas on toast and a glass of milk. But protein is what gives you sustained energy. Yep. They've proved this numbers of times that protein gives you sustained energy. Carbohydrates give you a sugar rush, a high, and they drop you and they make you feel tired. So if you have protein, you'll get sustained energy, but the downfall of protein is it makes acid in your body, and we've said this, it can cause inflammation, skin diseases, dark urine, fatigue, tiredness. I think I've written an article on my blog as well, so there's either muslimmatters.com or Creamer's Cuisine, and you can see all the side effects if you're having too much protein. But to combat that, it's very easy. You just have salad. Or salad or vegetables. So for example, for suhoor, I have maybe eggs with dates in them, fried dates in scrambled eggs, and loads and loads of cucumber, loads of salad. You could have just meat curry in the morning, let's say chicken curry on its own, no rice, and loads of salad. So that salad will combat the acid effect of the protein, because otherwise it will really mess up and damage your kidneys, and then you get halfway through Ramadan and you're training in the gym having loads and loads of protein but not having enough vegetables and fruits, mainly vegetables, and then you start getting really bad pains in your back, your kidneys get really hurting a lot, your urine gets dark, etc., and then that's it, you're out of the game. You can't fast for the rest of Ramadan. So protein, but balance it out with loads and loads of vegetables.
Okay, I'll stop you on this point. We're going to go for a commercial break. We're also giving people the opportunity to call in and give some of your feedback. And also, if you have any questions around diet, nutrition, any tips, for example, you might have a strategy that you've come across that's worked quite well for you. Why don't you share it with us? Do call in to the studio on 0333 011 6786. We'll be right back after a short commercial break.
Days Umrah package. Please call us on 0208 478 8911.
Ramadan FM 2018.
The voice of British Muslims.
MR Accountants provide a full range of accountancy and taxation services, including annual and management accounts, self-assessment, tax returns, VAT, bookkeeping and payroll services to all different types of businesses. With our in-house chartered accountants, you can be guaranteed to save money. Contact us now on 0203 432 9138.
कितनी बार कहा है कि घर को साफ रखा करो। मैं तो थक गई हूँ सफाई कर करके।
उफ, ये कॉकरोच, चूहे, कीड़े मकोड़े घर में घुस आए हैं। कहाँ जाऊँ, किसको बुलाऊं?
माँ, बहन, बीवी और बच्चे, किसी को भी इंसेक्ट्स नहीं लगते हैं ये अच्छे। So don't worry, I'll call City Pest Control. Deal with cockroaches, mice, rats, bed bugs, fleas, flies, all types of insects and rodents. 0203 633 0080 or 0770 279 8808. www.cpestc.com. City Pest Control, large enough to cope, small enough to care. All our technicians are British Pest Control Association qualified, and we are regulated by the Royal Society of Public Health.
This Ramadan, visit Al Akbar's for all your meat and poultry needs. We buy only the highest quality meat and are HMC registered. We've got some amazing offers on all our products this Ramadan, and we provide free local delivery for all our customers. We also cater for restaurants and large events, so no matter how big or small your order is, Al Akbar's is the name to remember. Visit us now at 51 to 53 Upton Lane, Forest Gate, E7 9PA, or call us at 0208 472 5742. Al Akbar's, the name to remember.
Yo, bro! Cuzzy's getting married and I need to get hold of a car.
Yar, I know some boys who know SPM car hire. They got the best cars in town. Rolls Royces, Ranges, Maseratis, Aston Martins. Cause you name it, they got it. With the best prices in town.
Sorted! Looks like I'm going to this wedding in a Range then.
They'll drop off the car and pick you up once you're done. Just give them a ring on 01798 397 916 or visit them online spmhire.com or find them on Instagram.
Looking for meat and groceries? Look no further than Waris Food Store in Walthamstow. Visit the store to view our special Ramadan offers. 420 Hull Street, Walthamstow, E17 9AA. Or for free delivery, call us on 0208 521 0000. We have fresh deliveries of poultry and vegetables every day. Waris Food Store in Walthamstow.
Reliance Solicitors fight to protect your legal rights. Our firm offers a wide range of services including immigration, family law, commercial law, civil litigation, personal injury, landlord and tenant disputes and employment law. Visit us at 602A High Road, 7 Kings, Ilford, IG3 8BU or call 0207 183 5439. Reliance Solicitors, where every client matters.
Britain Solicitors in East Ham, the name you can trust. We provide services in immigration, family law, landlord and tenant matters, commercial leases and civil litigation. We also deal in personal injury claims and road traffic accidents. Call us on 0203 475 7845 or visit us at 62 Barking Road, East Ham, E6 3BP.
Ramadan FM 2018.
The voice of British Muslims.
Atlantic Distributions. Whether it is frozen fish, marinated Lahori masala fish or lamb offals, we have them available at very competitive prices. We are wholesale suppliers to restaurants, butchers and caterers. Visit us at 51 to 53 Upton Lane, London, E7 9PA. Contact us on 07415 474 185.
Usman needs the adhesive to work. If not, his day will be a disaster. Ah! So, Usman, if you really need something to bond, grab a tube of CT1 from your local stockist. An incredibly powerful sealant and construction adhesive that's fast, flexible and strong. It can be used anywhere, even underwater. For more info, ct1limited.com or follow us on Facebook or ring us on 0208.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. This is the Healthy Ramadan Show with Abdul Malik, your host. We're back from our commercial break. Over the break, we've been talking about a few things to do with diet and, nutrition is something that is with us all the time. We have to be mindful of what we're eating, especially because of where we're all from. Our ethnicity, our backgrounds and our lifestyles kind of lend themselves to us being predisposed to certain conditions. And diet has an overwhelming effect, and we need to be very careful. I was talking to the sister earlier on, some of our older generation, with all due respect, they love to have their traditional foods. It's been something that's been our staple, a lot of carbohydrates, a lot of rice-based food. And we're so used to it. Even myself, I can't go without rice after a few meals, It's almost like I need to have it. And this is something that we need to be careful around in terms of being moderate, in terms of how we eat our food, what we choose to eat, and trying to introduce some things that we're not really keen on eating, but we ought to. And we ought to look into all of this stuff. The way you can find out more is by looking at this booklet. It's called Heavenly Bites, The Best of Muslim Home Cooking by Karima bin Dawood. I thoroughly recommend that you go and get this book and have a look through, have a flick through. They've got lots of different recipes, salads,
smoothies,
soups and salads. The mantra we're talking about, saltfish fritters. If anybody's
That's
into
Caribbean and naughty
food, I love Caribbean food. So look at that. Moroccan lemon chicken wings. Am I getting your taste buds overflowing? I ought not to. We've still got a few hours left. So do have a look at that book. I thoroughly recommend it. It's really got some different types of recipes in there. I'm actually salivating. You don't believe it?
I do. It's an award-winning cookbook, mashallah.
Okay, so let's go back to some of the questions that I had for you. It's all about balance, isn't it? We've got to look at how we put foods together. What do you say about that in terms of balanced diets?
Well, we've had this theme exactly. In the UK, we've always had this thing like in English food, like meat and 2 veg, and that was always some kind of protein with vegetables. But really, it was like protein with a green vegetable and a carbohydrate, namely potatoes, in English, potatoes. But things have come a long way since then because things have changed. If we look, there's a lot of toxins in the air, pollution toxins, and also like from technology, there's toxins in the air. So we need to be able to combat that because all these things will have an effect on our body. So as things are changing around us, we have to change in line with that, to combat the negativity, particularly in the air and the water. So balance doesn't just mean being mindful of what you had and some people will say to me, as a nutritionist, people say to me, oh, but I eat healthy already. And I said, tell me what you eat. And when I actually take a look at them, they don't drink enough water, they drink too much coffee and tea, they're not having the vegetables. Vegetables is one of the main ones. So you have to be very mindful and think, what did I have this morning? So for example, I'm not fasting today, and this morning I had a smoothie. So I had loads of strawberries, loads of pineapple. I added into it wheatgrass. You can try little bits of these things in shops like Aldi. They sell like little small portions. Spirulina. Spirulina is a powder. You put it into your smoothies and it combats the toxins of heavy metals. And if you've never had these things before, just try a little bit and then increase it every day, every day, every day. That's one thing to do with balance. The thing about rice, for example, as we said before, white rice is for special occasions only, and a special occasion is not iftar every night. A special occasion is Eid. A special occasion is a wedding. A special occasion is a birth. Those are special occasions where white basmati rice can be eaten. There's a book by Dr. Layla Africa called Nutricide, and these white carbohydrate foods are actually being used to dumb down the population and to dumb down the masses. So we need to start introducing brown wholemeal foods. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he never ate white flour, and these are sahih hadiths. You can go on my blog creamerscuisine.com or follow me on Instagram, The Islamic Nutritionist, and I'm always posting stuff about this and backing it up with hadiths. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he always ate whole grain wheat. And Aisha radiallahu anha, she narrated that even after 3 days of eating wheat, they would change to another grain. So we have within our culture, with our African and Asian foods, we have millet, we have sorghum, we have rice flour, we have almond flour, we have all sorts of different things that me, as like being born in the UK, that don't even know about. But I make millet pancakes. These things that traditionally we make, like naan, for example, and dosa, is it called dosa? Like pancakes? Yep. You can make these with rice flour. You can make them with millet flour. But all the time, try to do it with whole grains. So even with brown, you can get brown rice flour. Change it up sometimes. Don't just even stick to... We have got to move with the times. There are not yet Muslims, non-Muslims, who are much, much more progressive than we are when it comes to health and hygiene and nutrition. But when we study the foods that are mentioned in the Quran, these superfoods like cucumber, pomegranates, olive oil, garlic, onion, they are being proved now by scientists to be superfoods. Allah has shown us these foods. At the moment, I'm doing a colouring book, like a nutrition colouring book of foods that are mentioned in the Quran. So it will have a lovely colouring picture that I've drawn myself. I've kind of graduated from St. Martin's Art School, mashallah. But also on the back of the picture, it tells you the ayah where the food is mentioned, what the classical scholars, As-Suyuti rahimahullah, Ibn Jawzi rahimahullah, what they said about these foods and what is the medicinal use of these foods, and also what modern nutritionists say about these foods. But Abdul Malik, I want to ask you this question. Do you really think that as Asian and African people and Arabs, do you really think that the spices that we use in our food are just for taste?
I don't know, because I think some of the spices that we introduce into our cooking have got some health benefits. Particularly, we like spicy food, we like chili. I think certain chilies, from what I can see in terms of the Afro-Caribbean people, in terms of the Asians, the Mexicans even, the fact that they introduce some types of chili into their cooking, it's got some properties in there.
Definitely.
Like antioxidant properties that are really good for you.
Exactly.
I mean, the whole thing around eating chocolate, you've got chili chocolate.
Dark chocolate
with chili must be something.
Yeah, definitely. The foods that we eat, our traditional foods, the traditional spices that we use, the traditional herbs that we use, all of these have medicinal benefits. Why? Because in remote areas where there are no GPs, people have these foods to stay healthy and combat bacteria. For example, in Ethiopia, they have a spice called berberry, and berberry is made up of lots and lots of different spices, including chili, garlic, ginger, but lots of other spices as well. They put like a honey liquid on it, and they put it out in the sun. The alcohol in it evaporates. They grind it down, and I asked them, what is this? They said this is like a natural antibiotic. They cook their meat with this, they cook lentils with this, and it tastes amazing. Berberry, yes, berberry. But everywhere in India, in Africa, these kind of things are in the culture. You know, I was also in Newcastle last year, and I said to myself, I saw all that Bengalis, and Newcastle's very cold and very damp, and I thought, you know what, these Bengalis, inshallah, they're going to do all right up here with all this chili, ginger and garlic. That's what you need in your diet in a cold, damp environment. So within our foods, we have a lot of good things that help us in this damp, cold country, but the things that we do wrong, we don't have enough vegetables, we have too many fried foods, and we have too many white carbohydrates in the form. For example, samosas. Yeah, I put on the blog this week, and I think Abdul Malik, you promoted it. Instead of having fried samosas, the Arabs eat a baked samosa called fataya. Yes, so you can make this with brown flour. You can fill it with all your regular samosa fillings, whatever you want. Maybe step out of the box and have maybe spinach and cheese in it for a change. Or the Senegalese do salmon in it. They do a fish in it. But I'd put kind of like vegetables, high spinach, to get you your spinach and your vegetables in there. But they're baked and they're called fataya. And having baked food instead of fried food, that's one step in the right direction, because fried food exacerbates something in the body called free radicals. Like, we have free radicals. They're not Islamic radicals, but they're free radicals. And this actually exacerbates the cancer. We all have cancer cells in us. Dormant cancer cells. But if we eat these foods, like a lot of fried foods, this is what cancer likes. Cancer loves inflammation. So if you're not going to have fruit and vegetables, and lots of fruit and vegetables, to make your blood alkaline, you're going on a journey towards cancer. Stand up to cancer, eat more fruit, eat more vegetables. It's very, very simple. It's very simple. But cancer loves acid. And the foods that are acidic are grains, white flour, even brown flour will produce acid. Animal meat, milk, cheese, these things all produce acid. Acid produces inflammation, illnesses like diabetes, arthritis, asthma, and in some cases, cancer. How do you combat that? Lots of alkaline foods. Check me, the Islamic Nutritionist, on Instagram, and I'll keep reminding you of these healthy ways to live.
Just on that point, we know that you're a qualified clinical nutritionist, but you speak of a naturopathic, holistic approach to life. I mean, we all know about things like complementary therapies, aromatherapy, herbs. You know, the Muslim community are heavily into cupping, hijama.
Yeah, it's very trendy now.
Different things.
Alhamdulillah, yeah.
More prophetic ways of looking after ourselves. Can you talk a bit more about this and explain what it means? Kind of demystify it all for us.
Thank you. Years ago, when I first came to Islam, alhamdulillah, I remember reading a book on prophetic medicine, and the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said oils are the best medicine. And for the life of me, I can't find that hadith again. And if anyone's got it, please let us know. Oils are the best medicine. Now, most of us know about olive oil, and we know because it's mentioned in the Quran, astaghfirullah, and black seed oil, but we don't focus so much on things like aromatherapy. Now, aromatherapy oils are pure oils, no alcohol. They are the essence of the plants, and these things have been used for thousands of years. So in regards to Ramadan, I would say go to your chemist and buy a bottle of eucalyptus oil ASAP. Mix this oil with either mustard oil, I don't know what you call it, there's probably like an Asian name for it, mustard seed oil. Yeah.
That's Bengali.
Yes, fine. Yeah, alhamdulillah. And then also olive oil. These are heating oils, warming oils. At the moment, you have to know it's a little bit cold when we go out at night. It's not hot at the moment when we're going out. These oils, before you go to the mosque, some peppermint oil in it. So the carrier oil is olive oil. Put a few drops of eucalyptus in it. Rub it in your hands, bismillah, and rub it over your body. Rub it over your throat, over your beard. And these things will they combat bacteria, they combat viruses, and these are the things that we need to be using more. I would say the most thing, oils, if you can rub oils on your feet, massage these oils into your feet before you put your socks on, give your husband a massage, give your wife a massage, but definitely peppermint oil, it will clear your head. Don't use these oils if you're pregnant without researching it or asking your doctor, but oils like peppermint will clear your head. So if you've got to do a late night radio show, or if you're going to Taraway, peppermint oil on maybe a little hanky and you inhale it, sniff it in your sniff it in your body. If you've got a stomach ache, I'm training now to be an aromatherapist, alhamdulillah. Some ginger oil mixed, a few drops of pure ginger oil, just 3 drops with some olive oil, rub it on your stomach if you're getting stomach pains. So we need to look at these things. I'm not 100% sure about hijama while you're fasting, because I've read some hadiths that say it breaks the fast of the person who's doing it and the person who's receiving it. Allahu alam, I don't know. But the thing is, if you've been fasting and then you have hijama, it will weaken your body. So most people eat something after their fast. So I don't know. Somebody phoned me yesterday and they asked me, is it halal to have hijama while you're fasting? And I said, I'm not sure, because I've read that to some scholars it breaks your fast if you have hijama. But definitely oils, research aromatherapy for any ailments, but be careful if you're pregnant.
Okay, just to remind the listeners, this is the Healthy Ramadan show with Karima bint Dawood, our Islamic nutritionist, with us. If you do have any questions, you've still got a few more minutes to call into the show. And I'd just like to remind you of the phone number, which is 0333 011 6786. We'll get onto how people can access some of your good work. We've referenced the book and how you do have a presence on social media. So there's a lot of interactive stuff.
Yeah, definitely.
Look into,
yeah.
So we'll come on to that. Something else that I wanted to ask you, nutrition and exercise. We need to get the right balance.
Definitely.
Especially during Ramadan. Some of the leisure centres in the borough are promoting the fact that you can come in and do some light
At
exercise
nighttime.
before suhoor time. Do you think that's a good thing to do?
Yeah,
to try and
definitely.
keep up some of the good habits that
Yeah,
you've had?
definitely. I think that walking is a sunnah, all right? So I think that if you're going to go to the masjid, if you're eating iftar at home and you can walk to the masjid, you see the elders, they do this. They're really good, mashallah. They keep up this tradition of walking, some of them. And
but the rest of us, we just jump in our cars.
yeah, but some of us are really busy. Some of us are really busy. You're really busy. I'm really busy. So, we do this. But walking is good. Or, after Fajr and after Maghrib, I lie on the floor at this point and do like floor exercises. So that's but what I would say, my tip for this is always ask Allah. Please say, Allah, make it easy for me to have patience, constancy and restraint, because Allah loves a small deed done consistently. So even if it's just a few little exercises at Fajr, a few little exercises at Maghrib, to do it consistently every day is better than not doing anything at all. Do some stretches, but make it consistent. But consistency is something that a lot of us find a problem. So ask Allah, make it easy for me to be consistent. And when you are, remember to thank Allah. Thank you, Allah, for making me patient. Thank you for making me consistent. Thank you for the restraint that you give me. Always get Allah involved in whatever your health and well-being is. And then Allah will make it easy for you, especially if Allah knows that your intention is to give your body its rights. Then this is what I would say, a little bit is better than nothing, and if people are training, then mashallah, all the best to them. It's really good and admirable, mashallah.
One other thing I'd like to also ask, and probably somebody would have asked this had they called in, is about our sisters. Invariably, every single sister throughout the whole of the month will not be able to complete the whole of the 30 days for obvious reasons. That is kind of like a roller coaster in terms of your mental state, your emotional state, and being prepared for that. And nutrition does have some kind of bearing.
Yeah, definitely.
What do you have to say about that in terms of what can we feed not only feed our soul, but what can we feed ourselves in terms of preparing and making sure that we kind of sustain that
Yeah.
effort.
Well, I think that liver is mentioned in the sunnah, and some of us don't like it, but we should learn to get to like it. I think maybe it's called kalb, liver in Arabic, and so I would say in this time of when you're not praying, to eat liver, but make sure you balance it out with spinach, okra, bindi, this kind of thing, because iron is also mentioned in the Quran. It's really important because 2 minerals are mentioned in the Quran, and just now they're finding out more about these minerals. Iron, we know, is a very important mineral for the production of blood, red blood cells, and copper is another very important mineral that is overlooked, but when you're bleeding, then you're obviously losing iron, so you need to replenish that iron with iron-rich foods. And recently, I know I'm such a gory girl sometimes, I've started to have a tawa. I had one before, like the thing, and I'm probably pronouncing it.
I think a lot of listeners are laughing at you.
I don't mind. I think it's great.
Tawa.
Yeah. How do you pronounce it?
Exactly
Is
that.
it tower? Yeah, I was cooking on the tower, right? And so I went and got one the other day, another one, and I was going to sleep. I got it anyway, and the tower is absolutely super fantastic. It's like not a stainless steel one, ceramic, whatever, proper old school one, because it's cast iron and it's a way of getting iron into your body, which is healthy. So now I'm kind of like cooking all sorts of things on this, and my one's proper hardcore, no handle. It's got no handle. It's just a round thing, but iron is very, very important. So iron-rich foods during this time, and I would say drink a lot. Make sure you stay really well hydrated. But sorry, I need to say this: electrolytes are what help the body absorb the hydration. So things like the mixture that I said before, cucumber, it's minerals like potassium, sodium, calcium. These are electromagnetic minerals. You don't need fancy electrolyte drinks. Allah has given us fruits and vegetables contain a lot of these electrolytes, so you can make water and smoothies, and they will help rehydrate you in a really nice, tasty, delicious way.
I'm getting a lot of messages, not phone calls. I'm
Yeah.
not really happy. I want phone calls, but getting a lot of messages. Where can people get this book?
Cube Publishing.
Cube Publishing.
K-U-B-E. Cube
My
Publishing.
cousin just asked me, Shuma, you can get it from Cube Publishing, okay? Okay, that's great. So just on this point, we have to wrap up the show. It's been incredible. We've just flown past.
Can't we have another hour?
Sister Shagufta will be very upset with me, and I don't want to get on the wrong side
Okay.
of her. So where can people find out about you? What's your website called? And do you have an Instagram?
Yeah, the website is karimascuisina.com. That's Karimahs Cuisina, Cuisina. It means kitchen in Spanish and Moroccan Arabic. Karimascuisina.com. And I'm on Instagram as the Islamic Nutritionist. And that's where you can get hold of me. And always, it's my role to share with you the information that Allah has guided me to come across on my travels, and for the benefit of myself and this ummah, that we need to step our game up and be even more healthy. We are gems of goodness, but at the same time, the vehicle that is our body needs to be in the best condition that we can get it in. I know people have got health issues. I have health issues myself, but let's try at least to eat 80% that is halal and tayyib, and 20% maybe that is junk. Mindful eating. If you've been naughty, be honest about it. Ask Allah to forgive you for abusing your body, and ask Allah to make it easy to give your body its rights, and Allah will help us. Ameen.
Jazakallah khairan. All that's left for me to do is 2 things. Another plug. Heavenly Bites, the best of Muslim home cooking by Karima bin Dawood.
From Cube Publishers.
And also lastly, but no means least, Jazakallah khairan for making the time to come to the show.
Jazaka.
It was really worth having you here, and I think hopefully you've brought something different to the table.
I hope I've caused a
change.
A change.
That we could consider in terms of the balance of the month of Ramadan. Please do take note of what we've discussed and try to implement it into your day-to-day
Ramadan. It's the best time to make new habits and the best time to change old habits. Once you establish these habits now, inshallah, we ask Allah that we can take these good habits into the future and beyond. Ameen.
Amen. Jazakallah khair.
Wa
This is
jazakallah.
Abdul Malik on the Healthy Ramadan show. We've now come to the end of the show. Please do tune in next week. Next week we're going to be talking about a Ramadan in terms of a time of heightened spirituality, a time of getting closer to our Creator, and a time of thinking about our demise, about closeness to preparing for the hereafter. So next week we will be bringing along a gentleman by the name of Abu Mumin, who is involved in a charity called Eden Care. Eden Care is a charity that's supporting people with end-of-life care and preparing for death. So it's a subject that is very, very, it's something that's we don't always want to talk about, but Ramadan should be a time of thinking about where we are and where we're heading to. So I look forward to talking to you about end-of-life care and look forward to bringing the show to you next week. Jazakallah khairan. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Maxwell Estates, the name you can trust.